Hey everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of In the Prog Seat. It's Tuesday night. We've got, I think, the biggest crew we've ever had on this particular show on Sea of Tranquility in the house right now. We've got George Lamie, Anthony Ferraro. We've got Armando Venditti. We've got Stephen Reid, Eric Porter, Chuck Alvarez, Rick Labonte, Louis Nasser, and last but certainly not least, the professor of Prog, Mr. Ken Golden from the Laser's Edge. Good evening, gentlemen.
How you doing, my friend?
Good evening.
I don't remember who came up with this topic. Whoever it is, I want to bat him upside the head because this is pretty difficult.
I think it was George.
Yeah.
Yes, it was George. All right. So the topic of today is favorite instrumentals from prog bands that normally do vocal music. So normally most of their songs have vocals, but they may have done some instrumentals or a instrumental or whatever. And we were tasked with picking out our 5 favorites. And there's a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of good ones that I think are pretty much ones that most people would pick. So trying to find stuff that's like a little bit off the beaten path, I found pretty difficult. Either that or maybe I was just doing 10 million things this week and I just really wasn't searching long enough. I don't know. Whatever the case, I'm sure we're going to come up with some interesting lists here and songs. So we're going to start at our number 5, work our way to number 1. We're going to go exactly as I'm looking at this. So we're going to go George, Anthony, Armando, Stephen, Eric, Chuck, Rick, Louis, Ken, myself, and then round and round we go till we finish. So Mr. Lemay from Chicago, what do you got for your first selection?
All right, my number 5 is from a Texas band, Thought Chamber. The song is called Mr. Quinkles Therapy. Lead guitarist Michael Harris knows his way around an instrumental. He's done instrumental albums on the side, but this is his debut of his vocal band. It's got the Haji's Kitchen rhythm section, the keyboards from Outworld. Just a real good tune. Everybody solos. It's a good jam. Check it out, Mr. Quinkles Therapy.
That's a great album. I forgot all about that one. I'm probably going to say that multiple times today. Anthony.
All right, this is going back to 1976 from a gentleman who has been known to have the angelic voice of a prog band. We're going to Luis's all-time favorite record, baby. Elias, the Son of Hilo, Ocean song to open up the record to go into Sound Out the Galleon. Fantastic, very Middle Eastern. John Anderson plays all the instruments on the album, and Luis is in the credits because he loves him so much. Woohoo!
Anthony, you are nothing if not consistent.
I don't know.
Good album.
I am. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
I had to. I told George, I was like, I got to do it.
Well done.
Nothing like starting off the show with a laugh, right? Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Right.
man, it begins.
Armando, you're not picking from that album, are you?
No.
Maybe he is. That would make the joke funnier.
No. No.
All right, Armando, what do you got?
My first one is Emerson, Lake and Palmer from the Works
A big yawn.
album, Piano Concerto number 1. Take side 1 of the album, 18 minutes and change. It's it's prog, it's pompous, it's over the top, it's ELP.
That it is.
Nice.
And yep, that's my number 1.
Cool. There you go. All right.
Next.
Mr. Reid.
I don't have a prop for my first one, so it's the only reason that it's first. I haven't really gone for an order, and I will echo your thoughts, Peter. I'm on holiday or vacation or whatever you want to call it this week, and this has consumed 2 days for me to try and find songs that fit
Well,
this
I
bill.
wasn't the only one.
that weren't just what everyone would kind of expect. So anyway, I'm starting 1988. This is a B-side, which has ended up on an album. It ended up on the Songs for Ship and Irons album, and it's by the Cardiacs. So this is All His Geese Are Swans is the name of the song. And it's just a fantastic building piece of music. It doesn't quite show the quirk or danger that the Cardiacs can show, but the sax work from Sarah Smith on it is just fantastic, and it's got a great kind of wonky clock beat to it, and it's a great piece of music. So that's my first choice.
Is it safe to say that half of the crew here knows and loves the Cardiacs, and the rest of them I couldn't name one song?
I just can't get into that band.
That was my number 5.
They are like that, Ken.
Steven, I love you, but I can't deal with the singer. His voice just grates on me.
Well, this is where you should start then.
Yeah. And you say that as they're pulling out that third of a record.
How dare you? This is prime stuff, dude.
No.
Merry Christmas,
this is where
everybody.
the Pixies go to blush and die.
Oh my God.
The kids.
Woo!
Oh man.
Cardiacs for the win.
There you go. All right. Mr. Porter.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good
This is a
evening.
band that I wish actually did more instrumentals, but when you have two vocalists in the band that are as good as these guys were, I understand why they did vocals. Pretty much exclusively, even though they had long instrumental sections in their music. I'm going with The Spider from Kansas.
Oh,
Point of
yeah.
Return.
That's
That's my number 5.
nice.
So Eric isn't it a
Cammy,
shame?
Waltz is a beast on the keys.
Oh, he
He
absolutely
is
Yeah.
great
Yes.
player, but great singer.
Yep.
Eric, I was going to say, isn't it a shame that Van der Graaf couldn't shut Peter Hamill up long enough to do an instrumental, so you could have picked that?
He and George.
Oh man.
All right, Chuck.
All right. My number 5, since it was already taken by Mr. Steven over here, I'm going to pick one from a band that had a little had some prog influences, but were more so in tune with the alternative rock scene. Ultravox from their 4th studio album. The song Astrodyne. What's that? Astrodyne 8. What's up from the album Vienna? What's that? Astrodyne. Very much Bowie-ish, Kraftwerk type, and so it's a pretty damn good album. A pretty damn good song. Forgive me, instrumental. Ultravox, Astrodyne from Vienna.
I heard someone laughing in the background, Chuck. I don't think they liked your pick.
That's my wife.
Does she not like to hear Peter Hamill sing either?
Oh, good Lord. Oh, man. You guys are saints in comparison to her.
Let's face it, I don't think any of our significant others enjoy Peter Hamill, right?
No,
Heard him or
no,
not,
no.
I mean, that's,
That's a quiet taste.
yeah. All right, we're going to go up to Canada now, Mr. Labonte.
Oh. Okay, well, my buddy Eric took my thunder on Kansas. That was number 5. So I'm glad he did, because that would give me a dip into the honorable mentions instead. So we have time. So I'm going to go with the 1987 recording from Wishbone Ash, Nouveau Calls, I think it is called. Something Happened in Room 602.
Nice.
Love it, and it's so adventurous. And I used to have one of those alarm clock that you can put a CD in and it wake up. I used to wake up with that tune all the time to get up in the day. So that was when I was thinking, with all the instrumentals do I have, how do I pick 5? I thought not to think
is instrumental, yeah.
yeah, so I thought not to think too hard. So I think whatever the first 5 came to my mind must mean something, right? And that was one of the first that came up after Kansas.
Yeah, Wishbone Ash have some really good instrumentals throughout the
Yes.
catalog. Yes, I totally spazzed out on that one.
And great vocal, so that's why it fits.
Oh
it
yeah,
kind of.
oh yeah, hell yeah.
Isn't there a great one on There's the Rub?
Yes, there is.
FUBB.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, awesome, great song. All right, Lewis.
All right. So for my number 5, I'm gonna pick a tune by a well-known band, but it's a tune that a lot of people don't normally like or listen to or mention. I'm talking about Carnival 9, Second Impression,
Nice. Mhm.
which is a tune that is not only fantastic but also very much fun to play. And I remember playing it a lot, and people were there. You go. And they were always a little surprised because they always thought that Carnival 9 was just a little excerpt of Welcome Back, My Friends.
The whole
We would
song.
just play the whole thing, and they were very confused. Right? But Carnival 9, Second Impression, phenomenal.
Yes.
Yep, I agree.
Awesome.
Good
All right,
choice.
Ken.
I didn't want to go for the obvious ones, Luis.
But
So-
you're gonna go for one anyway. I know you.
No. I kept it aside as an honorable mention because that's clearly second impression is one of the greats, right? So as usual, I kind of digged a little bit, and this is for Eric, actually. So it's a song that was composed by George Martin, the great producer, and it was the opening and closing theme music for BBC Radio 1, and then it was recorded by a band called Van de Graaff Generator. Theme 1. Why can't I get? Yeah. And so,
Hey, George is in on that too. It wasn't just me.
That's right.
So basically,
Oh, man.
Van de Graaff did their interpretation of Theme 1, and it became a huge hit in Europe. Apparently, it hit number 1 in Italy. I don't think it did well in the UK, but it apparently was so successful that they put it on the American pressing of Pawn Hearts. And a band you don't think about for instrumentals.
Not at all.
It's a good version.
But it is a good version.
Yeah, my CD version of that is directly the UK version, so it does not have that on there. But I know, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, my first.
Ken, did they put it on the remix?
I'm sorry.
Did they put it on the remix of the new Pawn Hearts? Did they put
You wanna
it
go
on
look?
there?
I can go look.
Yes,
I'll go look.
it's
I
on
would
there.
figured you
It's
already
on there.
I'll
knew.
go look.
Set him
Sorry,
off on a
Pete,
quest.
And if he comes back,
We may never see him again.
he comes back.
I'm back.
We missed
It's on,
you.
yeah, it's on here. It's on here. It's on, it's on the first disc. It's on all of them. It's on the remix and the DVD as well.
Ooh, I may have to order that.
I tried listening to that album. Couldn't do it.
I mean,
That's
Couldn't
not the
get through
album.
it.
That's not the album to listen to first.
I'm not the biggest Van de Graaff fan. I like Van de Graaff, but Pawn
I
Hearts
love
for
him.
me is a motherfucker of an album.
Yeah, drop
Great
dead.
album.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I said, Ken.
Sorry for the swear words,
That's all right.
Oh, what the
salty
hell?
language.
All right, my first choice here, number 5, is going to be "Wind of Change" from Hawkwind, Hall of
Nice.
the Mountain Grill.
Mhm.
Love those early analog synths and the floating nature of the whole thing and that throbbing bass and just what a cool oozing miasma of spaceness from Hawkwind. I absolutely love it. They've got a lot of great instrumentals through the years, but I think out of the early catalog, that's probably my favorite. They did a lot more instrumentals like in the 80s and going forward, but love it. Hall of the Mountain Grill, Winds of Change, my first pick. Back to George.
Okay. Number 4 is called Premonition from this album, Haken, 2011. It's not like a walk instrumental. As the title implies, it gives you an early peek at a lot of the themes that they're going to present through the rest of the record. For whatever reason, it's always resonated with me. There's another instrumental on here called Portals, which is also great, but I'm going to go with Premonition.
Such a great album.
Nice. Mhm.
Such a great album. All right, Anthony.
My number 4 pick, Luis is actually going to commend me on this because I think he probably loves this as much as I do. But this comes from a artist, musician who's been known to have a lot of instrumentals, but a lot of vocal parts too. I'm going with the greatest composer of the 20th century, Zappa, Chunga's Revenge. Instrumentally, one of my all-time favorite guitar solos, just absolutely gorgeous tone. The live versions are out of this world, but Zappa, Chunga's Revenge, 1970.
Nice. Mhm.
Great choice.
Yep.
Great choice.
Nice.
Luis,
I
do
get
I
that
get an A?
You do. You're redeeming yourself. Well done. Well done.
I didn't
See?
expect
But now
that.
you're at a
That was
C,
good.
Anthony. You got an
You
F
know,
and you
you-
got an A.
This is what happens when you actually try hard.
Or try it all,
Yeah. Or at
or
all.
even just try.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
All right, Armando.
Okay, my next one I'm gonna bump it up from an honorable mention. King Crimson, Lark's Tongues and Aspic.
Beautiful.
Part one.
Part one.
Love it.
Um,
Two as well.
that
Actually,
was a tie.
two's better.
It was sorry, it was a tie between that one and the Talking Drum, but I picked that one.
Oh, that's good too.
I just love the arrangements on it. The different movements, different passages, like different.
My favorite.
It's just
King
different. It's just different from what I'm used to. So I thought, what the hell? Yeah, that's my second one.
Argue that one at all.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Or fourth one, whatever you want to say.
Cool. All right, Stephen.
Well, for my second choice, I've gone for a band who are really not known for instrumentals. I think this may be their only one. And the reason I've chosen it is because I think that in the space of 6 or 7 minutes, it sums up a whole load of the instrumental sections that they do. The band is Saga, and the song is Quinkles from 10,000 Days from 2007. And I just think that it's like picking the best bits of instrumental sections from right throughout the career, putting them together, making it cohesive, and it's just an absolute joy to listen to. It's got all the melody, all the hooks, but man oh man, it's got the chops. And they sometimes keep that quiet in the kind of most structured songs. They don't keep it quiet on Cork and Tell Us. Fantastic. Love it.
I wish they did more instrumental.
I was just gonna say that's one of those bands that I wish had an instrumental on every damn album. Because they're that talented, and that's a great choice. Wow, very cool.
Yeah, I got to pull that out and listen to it again.
Yeah, that's you almost forget because they never did instrumentals, and it's like you forget that there's that one. Great choice.
It was one of those I kind of went looking to see if they'd done more because you presume they have.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they seem like they would be great doing that sort of thing, right? Yeah.
But they have such a great vocalist, so
yeah. Cool. All right, up to Lake Placid we go.
And Rick, I wanted to mention, speaking of Wishbone Ash, Pete and I will be seeing them, I believe, in March of next year. So I'm not sure what the date is, but I'm going to use the same thing you guys just used. This is a band that I'm really surprised doesn't have as many instrumentals as I would like them to have. And I think what Pete just said, I wish they had something on every album, but I'm going with Gentle Giant from Octopus, Boys in the Band, both.
Yep.
Good choice.
Very good choice.
Great band. They have so many, they played so many different instruments, violins, horns, a lot of percussion. I wish they'd done more instrumentals, but that's my number 4.
Nice.
Yeah, I really wish it's more instrumentals, but yeah, that's all right though. That's what kind of made them unique though, So all right, back to Chuck.
All right, man. My number 4 is from the guitar maestro, Steve Hackett. But it's from an album that mainly people don't talk too much about, but I love personally. It's from his album, Highly Strung.
Oh, yeah.
He has 3 great instrumentals on there, but the song that I'm talking about is Group Therapy. On that song, you can hear how great of a guitarist he really is, because he really just shines on that song. All type of tapping and swellings and so forth. He just kills on that song. But the Highly Strung, Steve Hackett, and the song is Group Therapy.
Great pick, Chuck.
Good choice. All right, Rick.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the band Camel, Moon Madness. They got quite a few instrumentals out there.
I didn't want to go there.
Lunacy. Wait here.
Oh, the magician is back.
Oh no! Now you see it.
How you doing?
Watch it disappear. Look at that.
The David Copperfield of Prog.
It was funny.
It is magical when we're talking about it. The adventurous, how build up. It's like a mini version of China and Crazy Diamond in a way that it can pick up all these mood changes within 30 seconds. They're changing. Within 35 seconds, another change, and it's so fluid that you don't realize how much they've done in that patches of music. So I love it. Good choice. So anybody haven't heard that, that's a great place.
Yeah.
Is David Blaine? Can you hold that up again? Let me see what. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, there was a glare there, but you can still see.
I wasn't sure what it was.
That was part of the magic.
Yeah.
And it's still there.
There it goes. All right, Lewis.
All right, this is a band from New Jersey, or at least they used to be in New Jersey. I have no idea if they're still together or what they're doing. I'm talking about the Barnes brothers, Rich, and of course, Bill, the guitarist, mastermind. And I believe in the 90s, late 90s, they put out an instrumental record, all of it. They used to have these records with Bill singing. That was not his best moment. And then he just decided, I'm just going to stop doing this. I'm just going to play. And they came out with Excelsior.
Yeah, it was good.
Which is a great record. I mean, you could pick any number of songs. The opener, On the Road by Noon, is killer. A Closer, when the walls fell, is killer. But I'm gonna choose the opener just because I remember when I first bought this and I heard it, this just sort of stuck in my brain. And then I saw them do it live, and it was just great fun to see these guys play. And they have Jens Johansson playing keyboards on this particular record as well. So nice. Obviously Bill played all the bass and all that for the album, but and then they got the Lisa Bouchel Experiment, and that was a different story. But yeah, if you want to hear Mastermind at their best without their original vocals, you can hear this. It's fantastic.
Bill got married. Bill got married, moved to Brazil.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they could. Those guys could flat out play, but yeah, you're right. They should have always been an instrumental band.
Yes. I mean, when they did this, I finally said, "All right, you've arrived, Bill."
Yeah.
Yep. Never again step up to the mic, please. It was awesome.
All right, Ken, back to you.
All right, I'm picking a short piece, actually. It's Cybernetic Consumption from Nectar, Recycled. It was kind of a short piece, but that was the album where they introduced Mr. Synergy, Larry Fast, and he's all over the track. And in '76, there really wasn't anything that sounded like it. I mean, he just kind of went berserk on that track, and then the band integrates with him perfectly. It has a sort of futuristic cybernetic feel that it's kind of like a calling card for the album. I think it's a great album and great track.
Album.
I agree with you. Yeah. Yep. Awesome pick. Well, I had as my number 4, I had Lunar Sea, which is phenomenal, but I had an alternate in case someone picked it, and I had a feeling someone would. So I'm going to go back to the Kansas well, because they only ever, I think, had 2 instrumentals, and we got Eric had one. The other one is Musicato from the Power album.
Nice.
Can't hurt to have a little Steve Morse on guitar, right? Pretty crazy 3.5 minutes right there, but it's definitely an awesome one. Might even be the best song on the album, but pretty good album actually. But yeah, terrific instrumental. I always wish these guys also did more instrumentals. So that's my number 4, Musicato from Kansas.
Can I give you a third one?
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
There's one.
That's right.
So that is, if I can read in this light, section 60, which was one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
There you go.
Right on.
I got the olds, you got to jar my memory every now and then. Set me straight, So. All right, George, back to you.
All right. My number 3 is called Akasha Chronicles, from Lemur Voice.
Oh, yeah.
The Netherlands, 1996.
Yeah.
Great Magna Carta Prog band. The guitarist Marcel Koenen had a heart attack last Wednesday, but said to be doing pretty well.
He's doing better. Thank goodness, man.
That's good news. But guy's a great writer, and Akasha Chronicles is definitely one everyone should check out. Akasha Chronicles.
Nice.
George never forgets all the cool prog metal from the 90s.
Yep.
You are the man. Very cool.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, because those are all albums that I listened to a ton back in the day. But you get so much stuff over the years to listen to. They're all sitting in my closet or on my shelf, and I'm like, every time George holds one, I'm like, oh man, I haven't listened to that in like 10 years. I gotta go pull that off the shelf and crank that, man. It's like brings back memories. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Anthony, the man in yellow. What do you got?
My number 3, I think I'm going to get commended on this by Mr. Dr. Prog, Mr. Ken Golden. We're going back to 1974. Gong, a sprinkling of clouds, led by Mr. Keyboard Wizard Tim Blake. Just a phenomenal instrumental, very spacey, ethereal. What can I say? It's Gong, and it's you. 1974, Sprinkling of Clouds.
Nice pick. I will have you all know while we're taping this, my Gong ranking the album show is running live on Sea of Tranquility. So make sure when we're done, you all go watch that. So, and if you're asking if that album made my top 10, I think you can pretty well assume that it did. So, good stuff. Good picking. All right, Armando, back to you.
All right. My next one is from Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, Any Color You Like. You know, side 2, it follows Us and Them. You know, just fantastic piece of music, very relaxed, languid track, you know, delayed keyboards coming through, you know, it's a good track.
Pete, we may have to do a part 2 of this show.
No.
We shall see.
I'm up for a part 2.
We actually have lots of topics that we've done this year that we could revisit next year for a part 2. I've still got them all on my sheet, so we might do that.
I'm up for
Because
that.
I just, it's when people start talking, all of a sudden these other ones come to my mind. I'm like,
I know. Well, there's so many, and there's some that are really hidden in these great albums that you forget, you know, because they're vocal oriented albums, that there was that little instrumental. So yeah, good choice. All right, Stephen, what do you got?
My next choice comes from 2015. The band is called Majestic, and the album is called Ataraxia. So the instrument on this one is called Astral Dream, and it's just a superb guitar piece, really. It's part Gilmour, part Rothery. It's a little bit more, well, 2015 as well. I was going to say modern, but it's not modern because it's classic symphonic prog, but presented in a really nice way. And it's just a fantastic piece of music, well played, wonderful arrangement. It's not necessarily offering you something phenomenally different. I listened to this for the first time in a long time today and thought, yeah, it's a definite pick, purely for the kind of skill and the grace that's in the playing. So yeah, Majestic is the name of the band, and Ataraxia, the name of the album from 2015. Really good. It's a good album, in actual fact.
It is. Like you, I haven't listened to that in quite some time. Might have to
it's just one of those ones that kind of kept up. The Majestic evolved out of, I think, a one-man band into a full band with this album, and they kind of went up a step for me with this one. And I really like it. It stands together as a whole album, but it was one of those ones that immediately I thought, oh, I have to go and listen to that. Is it as good as I remember? And that's why it's on the list, because yes, it is.
Cool. Nice. All right, Eric.
My number 3, I'm going to use what George used for one of his introductions. This is not a showy instrumental, but I love the atmosphere on this entire record. Just what they created. And I know a lot of people like their heavier stuff, and I go for more of their prog stuff. But I'm going to go with Opeth from Damnation, ending credits. Everything on that record is just beautiful. The Mellotron, the acoustic guitars, I love it. And that's my number 3.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Great song. That whole album is really good.
It's a great album.
Yeah, good choice.
Steven, that's what they call the Steven Wilson effect.
Yep.
Everything he touches turns to gold.
Maybe not to everybody, but yeah, that's every now and then I see these comments from people that hate what he does, and I'm like, wow,
Just not listening.
Don't listen to it.
yeah, exactly, right, yeah. But most people, I think, can agree that he's got kind of the magic touch. So
Most big bands seem to these days. So
yeah, exactly. Yep. All right, Chuck.
All right, my number 3 is from 1972, a debut album from Electric Light Orchestra. No answer.
Ah,
All right. The song is Manhattan Rumble, 49th Street Massacre. You know, very jarring. You know, you listen to that song and you're basically ready to crush a can after that. That's my song. Which are from Electric Light Orchestra, No Answer. Manhattan Rumble, 49th Street Massacre.
yeah,
Nice.
One of 2
Great choice.
instrumentals on there.
Yes.
But that's my favorite of the 2.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Rick.
Okay, since we're on the topic, I'll just move it up a little bit. We'll do ELO, Face the Music album, and The Fire on the High. The Fire on the High is an epic tune. Now, I almost didn't want to use it because it had that tape of voices in the beginning, but the real music starts in a minute 30 seconds into it. That's where the instrumental gets taken. Yeah, exactly. So, if I can get a pat for that.
There you go. You
That's
got
Revolution number 9 going backwards, the tape looping all over the place. But anyway, that's just the beginning. But man, what a great epic! It's one of those things that it's big like listening to Funeral for a Friend from Elton John. It carries you through all this in musical passages. Well, that's the feeling I got when I listened to it, and it's high.
And it's not a long song either.
Yeah, it really isn't.
No.
That was the music bed for ABC Wild World of Sports, Chuck. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Mhm.
I take
That
it
I do
was
remember.
drums on that
Yes,
track.
it was.
Really?
Yes.
Man. Yep.
Okay.
So I mean, being known for vocals, it was nice that they opened an album like this, though.
Yeah, it's a great song. So,
Rick, they did it just for you. Jeff Flynn told me.
good choice. Good choice. All right, Lewis.
All right. So my next choice is a much more recent one. They're a New York band. Okay. They put out these. It's basically one collection of songs. They're called World War Trio Part 1, 2, and 3. The band is Consider the Source. Here you go. These guys are absolutely killer. It's a trio. It's just double neck guitar, bass, and drums, but every pedal and every effect known to man. I could recommend, for example, Put Another Rock in That Bag Part 3, or I could recommend A Monument to Compromise, brackets, faux clarinet. These two tracks are ridiculous, but the whole thing is amazing. So if you don't have these records, you really owe it to yourselves to go to Bandcamp, drop some cash, and give these guys your love.
It's
Consider the
talking to you,
Source.
Armando.
They have something new coming out too, Lewis.
No comment.
They do. They have several new ones. They also have they're doing this like acoustic thing, the mule
The
thing.
hybrid album or
Thanks, Chuck.
something, right?
Yeah. These guys are awesome, and they're great guys too. Like if you ever see them live, just go talk to them. These are really, really cool people. Gabriel, everybody, just really, really great. So Consider the Source, please. This is about as good as it gets, especially live, because when you go see a band live, that's when you know if they're faking it or they're actually playing. And these guys are playing, right? For real. So
Do they ever have vocals though?
no. Now these guys just play. They
So
Controversial.
basically, that's a cheat, is what you're saying.
Controversial.
George is calling you out.
well, they do have one sample of a vocal.
Oh, I think Lewis is pulling a Rich Catino tonight.
I just wanted to talk about these guys because these guys deserve some attention, right?
You just shit the bed there.
I did.
I saw
Okay,
George's
Anthony
face
and
down
F.
below. I'm
Lewis,
like,
you get an F.
something's going on here.
Well, I'm thinking 2 songs. One got to be vocal then.
Well, if you want me to correct, I can throw another one that nobody's going to mention today that has a lot of vocals, but it's instrumental.
What do you got?
I got from the Death Symbolic album, Crystal Mountain.
Nice.
Fucking killer.
Yep.
So we can go with that one too. But I already plugged my buddies. So I'm
They will love you for it as the band.
and they deserve it. They truly do. That's all. But here, Death Symbolic. What an album. By the way, this album I discovered thanks to Pete and this program. And what a song, Crystal Mountain.
Yeah, that album is absolutely amazing. Rest in peace, Chuck. I think it was his birthday the other day, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
Yeah. All right,
I just
Ken,
got to
back to you.
keep thinking buy responsibly. Just keep thinking that. And
That's right. That's right.
They're all good albums. That's responsible.
Well, unlike Lewis, I'm going to go with a real instrumental.
Wow.
From a band with vocals.
oh Christ.
So I don't know why I can't figure out how to hold up the damn album cover. So It could be. I just can't figure it out. So Riverside on their debut, Out of Myself, there were actually two instrumentals. There was Reality Dream and Reality Dream 2, and they're kind of different, but it's all part and parcel with the album. At that point, the band was really trying to define their sound, and there was a lot of space rock influences. You hear a lot of Porcupine Tree, you know, Sky Moves Sideways, period, Pink Floyd. For me, I'm kind of weird. I actually hear Eloy in there.
Same here.
And then they had that this melancholy vibe that's throughout the whole album. But the two Reality Dream pieces I think are fantastic. Peter Grudzinski, the late Peter Grudzinski, he had this. He mixed like this great crunch with David Gilmour type sustained leads. I couldn't decide between Reality Dream and Reality Dream 2, so I'm cheating, and I'm including them both. So that's what I got.
Can't beat it, man.
Cool.
Rest in peace, Peter.
Great band.
Yeah.
Great band. All right, this may be kind of obvious, but how about a little Toccata off of Brain Salad Surgery?
Yep.
I mean, there's a handful of just absolutely ridiculous face-melting instrumentals from this band, and that's one of my favorites. And this whole album just absolutely just destroys. So that is my next pick. Keep Emerson all over the place on that one. Back to George.
All right. My number 2 is from the Great Sensory Records label release, the first chapter. The song is called Biosphere. Band's from Norway, very Dream Theater meets Symphony X, and the instrumental is particularly Dream Theatery. Goes through a lot of sections. Everybody gets to have their little piece. There's another one on the second album that's probably just as good, but I give this one a slight edge. Biosphere.
Nice.
Cool. Great band. Awesome. All right, Anthony.
My number 2 comes from the year of my birth, from a band Pete that had just mentioned. I'm going with my favorite instrumental from the band, ELP's Tank. I think Greg Lake is kind of underrated as a bass player in this opening, the opening riff on his bass, and then Keith comes in, and then Carl. It's just a phenomenal track. So I'm going with ELP's Tank from 1970 off their debut.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I almost went with the Barbarian. I was like, God, which one do I choose? You know? Yeah.
What's wrong with the Three Fates?
That's the problem one. That's the problem of it. Picking the one that
The three fates are brilliant.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
But Tack does have a lot of balls.
Yep. All right, Armando.
My number 2 is Camel 6/8
Oh, yes. From the debut. Mm-hmm.
from the debut. Yep, from 73.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the track. I like everything about it. Different sections, different movements, and it keeps going. It doesn't repeat. It's not repetitive, right? In anyway, so yeah, that's my
A lot of great instrumentals by that band.
Yeah. Mr.
Yeah,
Latimer.
that's my number 2.
Cool. Steven.
Well, I'm going to play to type. I could have chosen any number from this man's catalogue, and I will put on record now that I don't like everything that Stephen Wilson has ever done. However, I do like Porcupine Tree. I like them a lot, and I've chosen Up the Downstair.
Beautiful.
The reason I've chosen Up the Downstair over some of the other fantastic instrumentals that they've done is, to me, this was the point where they began to leave the early sound behind and move into what they would become. And at this point, it's right at that tipping point between the kind of early spacey thing and then the more overtly prog that would come. But this is the sweet spot for me as well, among many. And I just love the whole thing. And it's one of those tracks that, for me, you can put it on when you're, maybe not having a great day, and it meets that anger, it meets that ire. But you put it on when you're having a good day, and it's bright and it's airy and it's light, and it makes no sense that it does both of those things, but it does both of those things. So Up the Downstair, Porcupine Tree from 1993.
Some pretty good guitar on that song too.
I love that song live, man.
Yes, yeah, that era of the band live just is incredible, absolutely incredible.
right on.
Good choice.
Just a quick question, Stephen, what album would you recommend someone start with Porcupine Tree?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a
Uh-oh.
loaded question.
Well,
It really is a question.
Okay, not so quick question. I'm sorry, Pete. I'm sorry.
It depends what you like, I suppose.
they have two different phases.
Yeah, they have two different phases.
Okay.
I would say from the latter periods. Oh wow, this is too difficult.
Almost three different phases. I mean, they're
I'm
kind
sorry.
Of
I didn't mean
Armando,
I didn't mean
Armando,
it.
start with In Absentia.
Yeah.
Start with
In
In
Absentia.
Absentia.
Okay.
If you want to hear the god of drums, start with In Absentia.
Yeah, that's not a bad place to start, actually.
There's even great little compilations, Stars Die recordings that kind of mix and match eras and things. Gives you a flavour of everything.
Armando, just buy the whole discography.
I've got the Delirium box set over there. Buy that.
You know, joke around about
Okay,
it,
so
but that's
so
gonna
much for
start
me
a
not
whole
buying
thing.
anything anymore. Jesus
know.
Christ. Okay.
You know, another good place to start too, if you want to get a good flavor of some of their like earlier stuff, get the Coma Divine live set if it's
Yes.
still available.
Yeah.
That's a
The
really
one in Rome, yeah, that's
the
very
one in
good.
Rome, yeah.
That's good.
That's a
My-
pretty good album.
My favorite is still Sky Moves Sideways.
That's fantastic too. Yeah, if you want like the space rocky stuff, that's
Yeah,
probably
if
the
you
best
like Pink Floyd, you know,
Light Bulb Sunday. Light Bulb Sunday.
Perfectly, we've just explained why that was such a difficult question.
Okay, I'm in trouble. I just screwed myself royally. Okay.
All right, where were we? Eric, right? Is that where we are?
Yes.
Okay.
So my number two is an offshoot of a band that I love, which was Ekelin. And when they dissolved initially,
Phineas Gage.
Chris Busby formed a band called Phineas Gage.
Mhm.
And the only thing I can say to this is that I wish they'd been an instrumental band, and I'll leave it at that. And, but I'm going with Blogie's Lament from
Mhm.
1 Inch of the Fall.
Yep.
Scott McGill, great guitar player. Chris Busby, awesome band altogether. But again, they were more fusionish, and unfortunately, in my opinion, they went heavy on the vocals, and I really wish they'd been more instrumental. But they have a couple, and they were great. You know, two albums, and that was it. But Phineas Gage, Blogie's Lament is my number two.
Did you ever see them live?
Did not.
When
I
they
did.
played live, they took longer instrumental breaks, and they were
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I
agree.
remember
They didn't
seeing
need vocals.
Chris play with Mike Keneally too at the last Near Fest, I think. And that was like a dream come true, seeing those two on stage together, you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Phineas were good. They definitely did not need a singer. I never thought. All right, Chuck.
My number two is also from the year of my birth, 1970. It's from The Great Traffic. The album John Barleycorn Must Die. Okay, if I could get that out there. And the song is Glad.
That is awesome. I love that song.
So,
Great piano work.
Glad.
Do you love technology, Chuck?
Mhm. Love it, man. Mhm.
That's actually my favorite album from them.
My favorite as well. Mhm.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good
I
band.
hadn't thought of that. That was an inspiring.
Yeah. All right, Rick. Back to you.
Okay, so I'm not going 1970 my year birth on this one, but I gotta say this and the next pick eventually probably my favorite album from these guys. The next two picks, and they have a lot of instrumentals. Take your pick, but the one that comes to mind for me is and this is again like Ken picked earlier. It's a short one, but it blow your head off in 3 minutes, and that is from the scene from a memory, The Overture in 1928, and just when Mike Portner stepped with the drum, and that whole roller coaster of music passes of 3 minutes of wow factor. It's like, wow, if this is the first 3 minutes, what the rest of the album's like, you know? Talk about wheeling people in as hook, line, and sinker to be a fan. So this one came to mind, but I could have picked a lot of albums because they got a lot of great instrumentals here and there. Even when the self-titled album, The Enemy Machine, and every album there's one, The Image of the Word, even the first album have a jam of instrumental. But this one This one gets me going all the time when I think about this this album. That's a song I hear, this overture, and 30 minutes of brilliant piece of music.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
That's the first album I bought of Dream Theater. And
It's a great place to start.
I heard that, and I just, from that year on, I bought every album. And just,
Love
I
that
went
album.
crazy.
Mhm.
I went nuts.
Cool. All right, Mr. Bass Player up there in the corner. What do you got?
All right. So I am gonna go with an album from the day this guy died. And the version of the song on this record is better than the original. The one from Jazz from Hell on the Synclavier is not as good as the one on the Yellow Shark.
No.
I'm talking about the Maestro.
Yeah,
And of course, I'm referring to G-Spot Tornado. Although this whole record has, starting with Dog Breath variations, so many great instrumental arrangements. But Zappa was always singing to pay the bills, but this is what he really wanted to do. And this stuff is fucking awesome.
A highly recommended album, man.
Yes.
You can't get that album for less than $90 now.
Yeah, it's
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
Well, maybe not even from the Zappa people.
No.
Great album.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is I love this record.
so many great albums. Man, what a composer that dude was.
When I got it, you could email them and they would send you all the scores.
Oh, nice. Mhm.
That's a great education right there. Because it's everything's worked out for the orchestra. So yeah.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, Ken, you're number 2.
All right. Well, I'm sure everybody has this one on their list. I'll figure it out. Triumvirate, Old Loves Die Hard.
Oh, nice, man.
So they basically, as we talked about in the past, Triumvirate, they were basically a knockoff of ELP, but a really great one. And they just kind of closely mimicked whatever ELP was doing. Jürgen Fritz was obviously had some obsession with Keith Emerson, but he was this major talent in his own right. So the album has 2 really, really good instrumentals. One called A Day in the Life, which is more piano oriented. And I picked the second one called Panic on Fifth Avenue, which is about a 10.5-minute track.
Mhm.
And, Fritz basically, he out Emerson's Emerson on that track. It's just total self-indulgence on Hammond organ, synthesizer, and it's all done over this killer bass line. It's like over the top prog with maybe like served up with like a slice of Velveeta. And, it's yeah, I mean, for me, this is just pure prog rock. I mean,
Did you say slice of Velveeta?
Yes,
it's got a little, it's so over the top.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of cheese to it, just a little bit. But it's a great record. It's a great record. And this is with Barry Palmer, who was the new singer, and he wasn't such a great singer. He was all right, but as instrumentals go, these guys can play.
Oh yeah, those guys were when they were on, man. Whew, what a great
they were on fire, man.
And it's really a shame. That they went so downhill so quickly after Pompeii.
Yeah.
And then he just abandoned the whole thing. And then I think it was about 20 years ago, he was going to resurrect Triumvirate. And there was this website that was talking about this new album, and it never happened. It just fizzled. So I couldn't imagine that it would sound like Triumvirate.
Right.
Now he's still around playing, but he's playing like in, I think he's like acting as like a conductor, arranger, and like these touring big band ensembles. I'm not 100% sure, but he's not doing Triumvirate, which is a shame.
It is a shame.
He's a monster
player, that he is. So I have to ask before I get
And
my
do
next
you
pick.
consider that their last great album?
No, actually, I like Pompeii.
Pompeii's good. Yeah.
Pompeii was a good album. After that, man, they just hit the wall real hard.
Yeah.
Russian Roulette was.
They went like total pop. Yeah, it was like.
Oh yeah, a la
Didn't sound like the same band.
A la carte was a stinker, and then they did this flaming turd called Russian Roulette, which had a great album cover. It's worth looking the album up just to see the album cover. but it was like, I remember it was like blindfolded
Oh,
guys
bad.
eating like a bowl of razor blades or something like that. I don't own it anymore.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it's a
Bad,
picture a
bad
flaming
bad record.
turd.
Great cover. Bad
It's a
record.
bad album. Mhm.
Ooh, really bad.
So before I get my pick, I have to ask, Stephen, do you know what Velveeta is?
No, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
Oh,
good.
I can say that what
You
Ken
were all
said
laughing,
was
and Stephen
cheesy.
had this look on his face like, yeah, what am I missing?
Yeah,
Yeah, like-
Velveeta is a synthetic cheese-like product.
Yeah, what he said was pretty cheesy.
Okay.
You know, Velveeta was actually created in Monroe, New York, which is where I used to live before I moved here.
So I don't even really know what a synthetic cheese-like product is. So we'll leave it there.
You don't want
That's
to
good.
know. Save your
That's
stomach.
good.
Sounds like something
Yeah,
that would be in the
Like mac and
Christians of my
cheese,
house.
instant mac and cheese, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
actually tastes
derivative of
really
that
good.
thing.
It
Yeah, it
tastes
comes in a
really
block.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like cheese whiz. It's one molecule away from plastic.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just like a cheese slice.
Yeah, kind of, but it looks like
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah, I
like
mean,
cheese, but it's not really.
I mean, I live in a backwater somewhere, but we do have, slices of cheese that are like not cheese. They've got that sheen on them that says, "Yeah, you eat me at your peril."
Exactly.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That's
That's
it. That's
it.
It's
it.
coming from a guy
You
who
got
eats
it.
haggis. So
Oh my
Oh,
God.
come
No,
on.
no,
Well,
no. We
haggis,
cannot
what
put-
about the fields? That's fantastic.
Haggis is delicious.
It's
Velveeta
extreme
is an insult
processed
to
food.
humanity.
Let's put it that way.
I love the haggis.
Oh yeah.
haggis.
The reason why I brought it up is because I saw the look on his face. We were all laughing at the Velveeta line, and I was like, I don't think he has a clue. And it brought to mind a comment on the last video I did with Stephen and Simon Bray. And the comment was, Pete is such a trooper. He's talking to these two guys from the UK, and they're talking all this UK stuff that Pete looks like he has no idea what they're talking about, but he laughs anyway. What a trooper he is. So
I got to tell you just very quickly. I saw the last video, like the last album homework assignment with Stephen and Simon. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. That's why when I posted it, that's why when I shared it, I said, just please watch this. I have no words to describe this. Just watch. You know?
See, what you've got to remember is that when myself and Simon are talking, we have no idea what we're saying either.
I'm just along for the ride. That's all.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was bloody hilarious.
It's always a good time with those two. Always a good time. All right, back to my pick now. With Rick, I also wanted to include a Dream Theater instrumental because they do have some serious ones that I really like a lot. I almost went with the one you picked, but then I decided to change it to one that I think doesn't get enough of the love, because I think the Yitzy Jam gets a lot of love, and the couple from Saints of Memory get a lot of love. But how about Erotomania from Awake?
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Pretty damn serious.
That's a
song.
good one.
Yeah,
That's a
I
really good
forget
one.
about
Perhaps
it.
the best. Mhm.
Yeah, so good stuff here. So that's my pick, Erotomania from Awake. Back to George.
Great choice.
And number one is a song called Do You Tango from the Swedish prog band Chroniconic.
Mechanic, yes.
Wow.
It's got a little bit of a robotic voiceover, but there's no actual singing or lyrics. Notable for great guitar solo, great bass solo from Jonas Reingold. Now that Sean Malone passed, probably the best bassist in the genre. And a pointless trivia, I bought this from Ken at Prog Power. $8, thanks, good deal.
Welcome.
But yeah, Do You Tango.
Very cool. Good choice.
Recommended listening, Armando.
Yep.
Fucking bank account is going down as we speak, but
All right, Anthony, you're number one.
My number one is from my all-time favorite guitar player who has a ton of great instrumentals, some good vocal tunes with when Pete Hicks was in the band. I'm going with Steve Hackett's Clock Angels of Mon from 1979. It's a tune that just builds up, and then he comes in with this roaring riff that'll knock your balls off. It's just fantastic. 1979, Clock's Angels of Mon, fantastic, for my all-time favorite guitar player.
Followed by
Oh yeah, what is the Ballad of the Decompressing Louise?
Oh man.
Nice choice. Nice choice.
That's
Love
All
it,
right,
man.
Armando, you're number one.
Well, I've never had my balls knocked off, but
just you
Um,
wait.
I'm gonna cheat and do a tie for number one. Okay, I'm gonna do a cheat. My first one is Dream Theater, Stream of Consciousness from Train of Thought. What's to say? I love the track. Just love
Favorite
the
song from the album.
piece of music. I just love it. The other one is Old Reliable Rush, the Villa Strangiato. Got to go with Old
That's
Reliable.
probably all of our honorary number one, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Got to go with Old Reliable.
absolute greatness, right?
There's a video of them doing it on stage, just like in rehearsal, all the way through. Because when they recorded it, they tried to record it all in one go, and they couldn't do it. So, but I watched it today. I thought, okay, yeah, that's it. So it's just a fantastic piece of music. It just builds and
Look at Armando
peaks
pulling
and
a
valleys.
mulligan, otherwise known as a Pardo now. Look at that.
what the hell? You know, like, so I just,
And I don't have a patent on it, so you know.
oh, I didn't mean to step on any toes there, Pete. But I mean, no,
All
I
right,
just
all right.
love I love both of them. But the Village Strangiato is just a gorgeous piece of music. It's got peaks and valleys that, you know, it's just fantastic. So
Alex Lifeson's best moment, in my opinion.
mhm.
Well, among many, but yeah, it's cool. Very cool. 2 gems. All right, Stephen, what do you got for number one?
Well, I've only chosen 7 for my number one. No.
Oh, so now you're pulling a Steve Keeler on us now. Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. Here's my number one. No.
Here's my number one, and I've got 7 honorable mentions. Like, Steve, come on, man.
George has already done me a great favor, actually, because the band that I've chosen for my number one, I really struggled to choose which song I wanted to go for, because I could have gone for Portals from the Visions album. I've actually gone for Nil by Mouth from Vector by Haken from 2018. The latter couple of albums from this band are not really where I gravitate towards normally, because they've kind of moved into a little bit more of a more expected, would I say, prog metal stance. But man, oh man, Nil by Mouth is just ridiculous. It's off the charts. It's so precise, but it's so energetic. Keyboards kind of hold it all together. The guitars are massive, and I'm going to get out on a limb, and people are going to disagree, and that's all the fun of it. I would reckon that this band are almost as good an instrumental vocal band as you'll find right now. Out of the newer bands that have come through, I'm struggling to find someone better than Haken, and Nil by Mouth is a fantastic example of that. But there are other examples of that too.
Nice pick.
You know, there's a reason why Mike Portnoy picked them to be his, backing band for that little, the 12-step program
Yep.
tour he did. I mean, yeah, they're amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and as Lewis was saying earlier on, a band can do it when you see them live, and they can do it.
Yeah.
They can do it
They
live.
can do it live.
Can do it live.
Right on.
I think they're touring here in the spring with Symphony X, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
No, it was Symphony X here, but they are here in the spring as well. So my plan is to go.
Another band who's pretty fucking good live. Jeez, Symphony X monster players.
Yeah, aren't they?
Yeah. Cool. All right, Eric, your final choice of the day.
So for my number one, I have to pick my favorite band, and I'm following Anthony in terms of the guitar player. I'm going with Genesis from Wind and Wuthering, and I'm going to use In That Quiet Earth as my final pick. And I think it just shows where Phil was going with Brand X, getting into more of a fusion feel. But again, great stuff from Steve, Tony, everybody plays well on that track. And that's my number one.
Mike's bass player, man.
Good choice.
Indeed, yep.
Great choice. All right, Chuck.
All right, mine is staying with the same exact band. What's that? For a song that I wish that they would have placed onto their album in 1986, "Do the Neurotic." You know, what's that? These guys on that song, they fucking kicked ass, man. And the only reason they said that they never played this song live is because they were always tired after they practiced it. You know, but you know, this is no, these guys. They said
I've never heard that excuse before.
Wow.
They had the olds.
They had the olds in 1986, man. But
That's
you know,
right.
they said, you know, but this song, man. If you can talk all you want about Invisible Touch, man, but this is a song, man, that if they had put on that album, man, it would have elevated it to different levels, man. I even like it better than the Brazilian, you know. But
Yeah.
that song, "Do the Neurotic," which is a B-side to, if I'm not mistaken, to Tonight, 1986 Genesis. Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that album. I mean, but
Mhm.
You wonder
I'm
what
not
people
gonna
who
go there.
took that 7-inch single and flipped it over and played the B-side
Mhm.
thought.
Well, man, dude, they thought it was they thought that they went back into the 70s.
Yeah, but not if you only knew them from the A side.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what is this boring
Exactly.
crap, right?
That was
Yeah.
all you knew.
What is this boring crap? I want to hear more Phil Collins singing, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, you get to hear him drumming. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's important, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right, Rick. What do you got?
Okay, well, speaking of drumming, my next choice is the song that still moves me today. I never grow out of it. And it's something I heard when I was roller skating as a kid, and they threw a bunch of it from this album, I should say. And you guys know what I'm talking about. YYZ from Moving Pictures Rush. And you know what? I'm 51 years old, and it still moved me the same way it did when I was 11 when I heard it. I swear to God, it's timeless. And I know all the air jamming parts, all the opportunities to switch instruments and play musical chairs to air guitar or bass or drums because it's part of my DNA now. But anyway, Rush all the way.
YYZ, right?
Yep.
What's wrong with that?
Doesn't sound the same, Steven. Sorry. YYZ.
Well, I call that song YYZ. I say Z.
YYZ,
No,
yeah.
it's all YYZ.
That's their spot at the airport when everybody always say YYZ right there.
All right, Lewis.
All right, so Italian prog bands are mostly known for operatic vocals.
Yeah.
And this band in particular is known for having he's no longer with us, but an immense vocalist.
I know you're talking
Giacomo.
about. Mhm.
But I'm gonna have to go with Banco del Muto Soccorso
Oh,
and an album that is just ridiculously great,
Mm.
Di Terra.
yep.
This album is just amazing. And you can take your pick of any track, but I'm just gonna choose the title track, the closer. Absolutely. This is a must buy, must have.
Yep.
It's one of the best instrumental albums that I have.
I agree.
It's
I
just
agree.
ridiculously great.
That's the ultimate instrumental from a vocal oriented band.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And it's like I think we had a whole discussion about that album
while
number
back,
of weeks
yes.
ago, right, Ken? We were
Yeah.
talking about how amazing that band was for his vocal virtuosity, but then they inexplicably do an album without him, but
And
he's
it's great.
totally cool with it, and it's totally amazing too, right? Yeah,
He wrote the song titles,
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
it's a masterpiece.
yeah,
One of the
a
greatest
great
progressive
album.
rock albums of
Yep.
all time.
Ever.
Absolutely agreed.
yeah.
I mean, 4 in a row, man. 5 in a row, actually.
If people have not bought this or heard it, you really should.
what's the name again? The album?
Banco is an Italian band.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The album is called Di Terra.
D
of the
Terra.
Earth.
Okay.
DITERRA.
Yeah, D Terra. Yeah, the Earth.
Anthony,
yeah.
you got that?
Yeah. Get on it.
He's
Anthony.
just like
Get on it.
gone.
Wake up, man.
Look at him. He's in a trance. Look at him.
I guess.
He's in a trance.
This guy's on Pornhub right now. Come on, man.
Anthony has like one of those premium premium subscriptions to Spankwire, you know.
Oh, I knew it was going to pull it out. I knew it. I knew
You know, or scatology. What are the other?
it. Jesus.
Oh, they don't have Rape My Poo anymore, right?
Stay up late for this.
Oh my God.
All right.
I think I'm gonna check Steve Feigenbach's Facebook or website tomorrow.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You're gonna need reading glasses.
Now, believe me,
What do you
nobody
got,
ships
Ken?
like you can. Nobody.
So I just want to thank Mr. Japanese Jazz Fusion for coming up with this theme tonight. So George, so tomorrow on your doorstep you're gonna find a brown paper bag in flames filled with dog shit.
Wow.
So in 1990, I'll speak quick. So in 92, I got this great demo from a new Swedish band, and they blew my mind. And I tried very hard to sign them. They had contract in hand, and they said, "We're going to take the summer off and decide what we want to do." And they said, "We're going to release this album on our own," and bummed the shit out of me because the album was Anecdote and Vimad.
Mhm.
And the opening track is called Corellia. It's got opens with this beautiful, haunting mellotron, man. And that, I mean, you're listening and you're getting wood from that, man. You're getting like major wood.
Jesus.
And then all of a sudden the band comes in and just slams you over the head. And after that, it's just, you know, this very Crimson influenced sound, but has that Scandinavian melancholy about it.
Mhm.
But the album, it just kicks off with this just incredible energy from this track, and it just carries you through the whole album. It's just
Yes.
it's a
Gives you
fantastic record, and Corellia is just an amazing track. This is a classic, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
for me, it's in the same. We talk about this really in the same breath when we talk about like Engelgard hybrids.
Mhm.
So, you know, Corellia
Yes.
from Vimad.
I haven't
Listen
listened to
to
that
the
album for quite
Astral.
some time. I gotta pull
I'm
that.
gonna play it tonight just for you. Thank you, man.
That's
All right,
quite
man,
the
you'll be-
description there, Ken.
Just warn your wife, man, because you'll be getting a Woody.
Oh my God.
I was going to ask. So you play that, and the dick gets hard. So do they then play that well that the dick falls off?
That comes on the second track.
Okay, that's fine. That's good.
Oh, we just became the R-rated show on the channel. Forget the Hudson.
Sorry, sorry,
Proxy.
sorry. I thought it was on with Simon for a second there. Sorry.
Is there any way to edit these shows before you put them on?
Why would you want to?
Yeah.
26 seconds
This
long.
This is the wrong
I've
crowd
never
for
heard of
that,
an album giving somebody
Armando.
wood. I'm sorry.
There's a wrong
I
crowd for that.
apologize. I apologize.
That was very well played, sir. I salute you.
My number one, I'm amazed wasn't picked today. I thought Anthony was going to pick this one, but he didn't. So I'm glad that I can talk about it. I really wanted to and had to pick a King Crimson song, and there's so many kind of obvious ones that I wanted to choose. I mean, I thought about the various Larks songs. I thought about Red. I thought about a bunch of them. But then I thought about like the last couple times I've seen King Crimson live and how absolutely devastating Level One is live,
Yes.
even on the studio album.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
I was like, that's got to be my choice.
Surprising.
Perhaps their greatest instrumental ever. And who plays guitar on that song, Anthony?
It's Adrian.
There you go. Yes. Mr. Balloon.
My boy Adrian.
That's right. So it's so powerful. It's just absolutely pulverizing. I love it. And from the, very strong Power to Believe album, which hopefully we see another studio album from these guys, but I'm not holding my breath.
Nope.
So,
Not happening.
That album is just fantastic.
oh yeah. Yep. So there you have it, everybody. Our favorite instrumental songs by mostly vocal prog and prog metal acts put your acts, bands, whatever, put that down in the, put your favorites down in the comments below. It's been a long day. And I'll be curious to see what everybody comes up with. And I want to thank everybody here on this rather large gathering of the Prog Seat crew for doing the homework and putting their list together. This was not an easy one, and we may revisit this perhaps in early 2022. So stay tuned next week. We, for whoever here it's on the crew want to participate, we're going to be talking about our favorite albums of 2021. You're going to get multiple shows across the channel. You'll see this on the Hudson Valley Squares and on here, and you'll probably see a single show of myself listing my top 20. Also, make sure you check out our website, seatranquility.org, where we'll be posting all of the writers' picks for the year very, very soon. So we're putting that together as we speak. So, and I do want to mention, we've got our holiday show coming up next Monday, all right, Monday night, a week from yesterday. So that'll be the 20th of December, where it's an all hands Sea of Tranquility happy holiday show. We're going to get folks from this program, Hudson Valley Squares, Guitarist Corner, all sorts of other things we do on the channel, getting together, wishing everybody happy holidays. And everybody's going to be talking about their favorite Sea of Tranquility moment, either that they participated in or a show that they didn't participate in, but they really love a lot. So that'll be next week, Monday night, in place of the Hudson Valley Squares. So stay tuned for that. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube. Where are we?
All the
damn time.
All the damn time.
That's right. That's right. So thanks for watching, everybody. For George Lamie, Anthony Ferraro, Armando Venditti, Stephen Reid, Eric Porter, Chuck Alvarez, Rick Labonte, Louis Nasser, and the guy over at lasercd.com. Make sure you go over there and buy some stuff tonight after the show. Ken Golden. I am Pete Pardo. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good